Hi, Chuck Vosberg here from Next Home Gulf to Bay, along with my wife Pat, your favorite realtors. And today I'd like to talk to you about time on the market and its effect on perceived value of the property. So I've got a little chart here that I want to show you, and what it's showing you is a normal traffic pattern for a residential property. You can see that, of course, we've got a tremendous amount of interest in the very beginning, and then it kind of tapers off over time. Well, the green line on there shows the perceived value of the property. So, what I'm showing you here is that the perceived value of the property begins to drop at a certain point. And it doesn't matter what the market conditions are, there are a certain number of days that are the average number of days on the market before it's under contract. So, whatever that span of time is, for whatever the market conditions are, like right now, it's about 6 days as of today when I'm recording this video. So once we get to that point where the average days on market, the perceived value begins to drop. And the reason why it begins to drop is because of good old-fashioned human psychology. You see, the longer something stays on the market, people start to think there must be something wrong with it. Because it hadn't sold, nobody bought it, so as time goes by, there's got to be something wrong, right? Well, that's just human psychology. So what happens is twofold. The traffic drops way off, and people's assumption that there's something wrong reduces their perceived value of the property. So the longer you go, you end up having to accept less than you would have gotten much earlier. Now it kind of leads to the question, well, why didn't we sell it earlier? There are two main reasons that keep a property on the market too long. The most common reason by far is that it's overpriced. If you start off with a property overpriced, usually you won't get much activity, you won't get any offers, and then about a week goes by and you have a conversation and it's like, okay, I'm going to lower the price a little bit. And the price gets lowered incrementally until it's finally down at what the property is actually worth. But problem is, time's gone by. So by the time the price is down to where it should have been in the first place, the perceived value is starting to drop because time has elapsed. And that's the most common reason why people end up having to accept less than their property would have been worth if it was priced appropriately in the first place. The second reason where things start to drop off and you get that perceived value drop off is another thing that's just human psychology. It's the thought that, well, maybe if we just wait a little longer, a better offer is going to come up. And it makes sense. I mean, it's just human psychology, and we always think that makes sense. But it doesn't. And research shows that it doesn't. So here's what happens. You might get an offer, it's really close, but you're thinking, no, I'm gonna hang out because there's a better offer coming up. I know it, I can feel it. Well, time's going by, tick, tick, tick. Meanwhile, a person that had a pretty good offer over here, they found something else, so they're gone. And it starts dropping off. And then you end up having to accept less than you would have had you just gone with that original offer. Now, statistics show that, with the exception of investor offers, because that's a whole separate thing, we'll take those out. The first legitimate offer you get is almost always the best offer that you're going to get on your property. And I know sometimes that's hard to accept because you may have something in your mind that it's worth a certain amount. But keep in mind, the real value of a property is the amount of money that a buyer and a seller agree to transfer that property. So as time goes by, time is definitely your enemy in real estate. So that's why we try to sell the property as quickly as possible. And the way that we make that happen is we front load everything. And what I mean by that is the day that property goes on the market, it's already on more than 80 real estate advertising websites. We've started an advertising campaign on social media. And these are paid advertising. We don't just rely on free stuff like most folks. There was a day when you could do that. You could put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, and it'll sell within a reasonable amount of time. But those days are gone. And even during those times, we still front loaded it to get top dollar. So we've got all this advertising that's hitting because we want to get the biggest pool of qualified buyers as fast as we can, because we know time is working against us. And that first big group of people that we get in there, that's where the buyer is. That's where the best offer is. So that's our strategy. And if you have any questions or if you want to know more about it, just ask. We'll tell you anything you want to know. We put humans over houses. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that stuff. And I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.